I'm going to be clashing with the Queen. Not deliberately, it's not my fault. I forgot that she was doing a live to the nation broadcast. Well, it's a sort of unexpected thing. They were not announcing it, they didn't announce it until really recently. So that's like once in a blue moon thing. She doesn't usually talk to the nation, and I do. So she's clashing with me, really, when you think about it that way. But I'm sure she's going to say lots of really positive, heartwarming stuff that's going to make people think about staying inside more. So I will also say, stay inside more. Be very careful. Be good. And all that sort of stuff. Anyway, how are you all? How's everything going? This is quite far away from me. I'm just going to move it a little. Woo! And then the table collapsed. I had it on a table and it collapsed. That's live broadcasting for you. How is everyone? Have you had a nice couple of days? I went for a walk on Friday. I didn't upload it until yesterday, but I made some lovely hummus yesterday, and I will upload the video for that. No, not tomorrow, because it's my birthday. Hello, Philip. I won't upload the video for the hummus tomorrow. I will upload it on Tuesday. I'll just do something about my birthday. I'll probably do the happy birthday song tomorrow in some way. I found a big keyboard that I bought ages ago, and then I was like, no, because it needs batteries, and I didn't have batteries, and then, or it needed some sort of DC adapter, and I didn't have that, so I looked everywhere, and I was like, no, I'm going to have to order it on Amazon, and they wouldn't have brought it until like the end of May, so I was like, oh no, I can't learn to play the keyboard, because I started learning, not great at it, but I, luckily, found something, so yay, I can learn to play the keyboard, the piano, blah, 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 blah. That's me. See, it's an invisible piano. It's great, eh? Anyway, so today, what have I mostly been doing is watching the Netflix again. So I started watching something about aliens in the world, and obviously it's a load of old rubbish. But you know, it's the sort of, at the moment, I'm desperate for things to watch because I feel like I've watched everything on Netflix, and there must be something. I started to watch Hustlers, which is basically a female version of Dirty Rotten Scandals, and I didn't really feel like I was enjoying it, so I turned it off and I watched the thing. Hello, you're not too late. Haha, don't be sunbathing. No, sunbathing is bad. You must stay inside. Anyway, so I started watching this thing about aliens, and then I fell asleep because it was basically a load of rubbish, and there was a man in it that I've seen, because I've seen him in memes where ridiculous things are said. He's got wild hair and big blue eyes, and he's crazy looking, and I don't know his name. Dr. Pretend person. Moonbathing, well, if you moonbathe, maybe there'll be nobody outside. Basically, don't go outside, ever. Hello, Terry. Don't go outside, ever. Stay inside. Do yourself a favour. I actually went slightly outside into the garden, and then I started doing bicycling. So I went for a bicycle ride inside, because I found a wonky old exercise bike in the basement. So I'm probably, that's it, Ancient Aliens. It's very silly. I started watching the second episode. The second episode, get this, it's really ridiculous. It starts off, somebody discovered that ancient Troy might have been a real place in Turkey. So that must mean that all the gods were aliens. It's like, no, because the whole story about Helen of Troy, maybe that's made up, but the sort of siege of Troy, maybe that's based on something. There might have been a real actual Troy, and it was basically people involved with that. So whatever happened, it was a battle, and that there were people, real people, or made up people, but people exist. Whereas all the other Greek myths were, ancient gods, powerful things, blah, 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 blah. Thunderbolts, lightning, very, very frightening. And so maybe that exists. Well, this is like saying, oh, well, say like in 1,000 years, some people think London existed. So we dig up London. London, it existed. The stories about that Boris Johnson were true. Therefore, definitely, that thing about the Stargate must be true because that's from the same time period. So Stargates existed. Yes. And, Yes, and there were pyramids with gods that had things in the back of their necks, and there, yeah, it doesn't make sense anyway. My point. So yeah, so this is my alternative Queen's message, really. Yes, is that his name? Giorgio Tsoukalos. Okay, that's his name. Anyway, he's in a lot of memes. Oh, what I found yesterday, my mum met old St. Paul's existed. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Philip. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, so that is true. That's exactly. So this, look at this. My mum made this. Isn't it the most terrifying thing ever? She made it, I don't know why she hasn't even got eyes. It's just like, I think she's not half. It has got eyes, actually. I think what it is there is a toy underneath, and she's made something on the top of it. It's like a Wookiee dog or something. Here's a hat. Anyway, so this is my new pet. So I don't have a real pet, and this doesn't need walks in the way that real pets need walks. Ah. Oh, can you not? Oh, I'm sorry, Spillage. I didn't realise that there was some sort of limit on whether you can live stream or not. So, never mind. You can just watch my live streams and see how successful they are. Not very. So, yeah, don't feel bad about it. Anyway, so this is my dog, and he's called Cyril. Cyril the dog. Cyril the squirrel dog. So, yeah. So, he might be with... Do you have to? Oh, I thought you did already have that many. Anyway, so it has got eyes, but I didn't realise it had eyes. There, it has got eyes. It's not as terrifying as I thought, but it is my doggy. Anyway, so this is my corgi. So I'm the queen now, definitely the queen of everything that I survey. My husband and I. That's my impression of the queen. My husband and I. Ah, Skeksis. That's the queen. Cyril, that's not a terrible name for a dog. Or about Eric? Eric the dog. Eric the half-fur bee. Bees. I've noticed a lot of bees lately. Gigantic bees. This size they are. See, imagine this, only with some black stripes. That's how big the bees that I've been seeing are. Maybe not quite that big, but quite big. And they've been, like, looking in crevices and holes and just... Somebody said that they might... How dare you? Cyril Eric is very, very upset at you. Aren't you, Cyril Eric? This is a great name for a dog, Cyril Eric. Eric the dog. Cyril Eric the dog. It's a good name. Eric is a very good name for a bee. Half a bee. It's better than no bee at all. Anyway, no, I'm not going to call him Bosley. He's not. He might be a bee. He's Eric. He's half a bee and half a dog. There you go. Eric, the half a bee, half dog. Da 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 da. Yeah. So this is my terrifying. So it's even. Anyway, so the Queen, I am clashing with the Queen at the moment, definitely, because she's probably saying, like I said, lots of very important news for the nation. I'm not sure why the Queen is more useful than anyone else for telling you what to do, really, because she's not actually got any powers. She's just a nice old lady that has dogs, and wears a headscarf. So maybe that's it. That's sort of like a bit like a covering. So maybe that's what she's saying. Always put a headscarf on when you go out to the shops. Yes, Skeksis. Maybe I should. I haven't actually done any live act for a while, and I probably won't for another while longer, bearing in mind what's happening in the world. Skeksis. So yeah, I could put my doggy. Hello, that's a nice doggy. I think you're supposed to. Yeah, that's the trouble with it. get a bit confused. It's like right hand, right there, back. My right hand and my left hand. I get confused with those, and I also get confused about the whole sort of like. I get very, very confused about things. So when I'm doing the whole sort of ventriloquism, it's like when I'm talking, I'll have my mouth closed, and when the dog's talking, he'll have his mouth closed, and I'll get it the wrong way around, basically. So anyway, he hasn't got a mouth to open, has he? It's just a sort of weird, sort of human centipede sort of mouth. Yeah. So anyway, Eric, I don't know this. What? I don't know where I'm going with it. Anyway, so nobody's got any acts at the moment. They're all doing everything online, and I've been watching the TV, like How I Got News for You, which was basically, yes, I could claim, yes, like that wasn't his name, Cyril, Lord Cyril. No. Anyway, there were a few Charlie. There were a few ventriloquists on the radio back in the day, before any of us were born, probably. But there was one in Britain, and there was one educating Archie. That's it. That's how a few people like what's his name, Kenneth Williams, I think, was on Educating Archie. There were various people. Pat Haynes. What's this? Ugh. Tissues in him. He's a tissue box. So yeah, so I could do radio version of the dog to really get the gist of it. So I wonder what the Queen is saying. Don't switch off and tell me. Just let's guess what the Queen is saying. Maybe the Queen is saying, you should always go for a bike ride inside, like that Elise with the wonderful dog, the wonderful talking dog. Does the dog talk? Yes, it does. It sounds exactly like Elise. I think probably spitting image doesn't really beckon, does it? Ruff? No, it doesn't. You're quite right, Eric the half a dog. So yeah, I don't know what's going on really. I don't want to really go out anymore because I went to the walk and then I went to the shops, and people are really, really terrible at social distancing. There was a woman with a child and a dog talking to an old man, blocking the entire pavement on the one side, so across the road to go to the shops, and it was a tiny shops, and there's usually like one person in the shops, and there was like 50 or 60 people. There wasn't 50 or 60 people. There were loads of people in the shops. And instead of, I'd go up the one aisle and they'd start coming and I'd be like, I have to go up the other aisle and go, wah, 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 wah. And then I'd be like, they're coming the other way. And then I went to queue and some woman was like, this social distancing, it's terrible, is it? Hang on a minute, I need to go up here. I'm pushing straight past. And I'm like, I'm terrified for my life. So I was like, I don't want to go out anymore. So what have I got in my house? I've got water in the taps, and I've got grass on grass to eat, like the sort of grass, the tufty grass that grows on the ground, like turfs. Is it turfs or turves? Anyway, that sort of grass. Hello. So yes, exactly. That's what exactly, Philip. I see what you mean. You're saying I was like, Philip, that's a bit weird. Have you got ladies? Oh, you're talking about the Queen, Philip. Philip? Different Philip. So maybe you have. Maybe you are, Philip. All this time, you are Prince Philip in disguise, and I've met you too. So it's a really good disguise. That's all I've got to say about that. Really good disguise. Dougal. No. He is Eric the half a dog. Oh, okay. Good point. Yeah. See. So, I don't know what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to put up the chickpea video. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to have a birthday. My parents were like, we didn't get you any gifts. Do you want any gifts? We don't have any gifts. I'm like, that's all right. It's a meaningless thing, a birthday. It doesn't mean anything. It's not the same day that I was actually born, is it? Because time is an illusion. It's all especially now, it doesn't make any difference. It's like, it's just another day. I don't care. My mum tried to make me a cake, but it went a bit wrong. It's sort of, it's more like a sort of biscuity thing. And she put marzipan inside it instead of on top. She only had enough for one thing. And she thought she'd put it inside the cake instead of on top. And then so the bottom half is just sort of marzipan. It's just sort of liquidy and then biscuity on the top. It's really nice though. But it's not really a cake. And I've already started eating it. So whether it's a birthday cake or not is debatable. Because it's not. Well, birthdays are, as I said, meaningless, doesn't really make it. It's like I said to my mum that I was doing this at 8 o'clock. Exactly, 25. Yeah, thank you. You know how to flatter somebody. I said to my mum that I was doing this at 8 o'clock, and she said, oh, well, the Queen is going to be on the time. And I'm like, oh, no, well. And then she said, oh, but you've got American people that are going to be watching it too. And I'm like, yes. And she said, oh, but they might watch the Queen's speech as well. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, but it's at a different time, 8 o'clock there. It's like, yeah, I know, because if it's 8 o'clock here, it's not obviously going to be 8 o'clock there, but it's still the same time. It's not like I've travelled, it's all happening at the same time. It's not a different time. And she was like, yeah, but it is a different time. It's like, no, but it's not. So if they watch the Queen live, they can't watch me wherever it is, because it's still going to be the same time. Maybe there's like a 1 second delay depending on the satellite feed or whatever. But if they do that, I don't know why they would, but it's still going to be the same time. And she's like, yes, it is. Even if it's a different time, like it might be like 2 o'clock in the afternoon for you, but it's still happening at the same time as 8 o'clock British summertime here. Anyway. We have some lovely discussions, me and my mum. She's lovely. She is. She's lovely. Because she's going to watch this now. And she's going to go, what are you saying things about me for? I'm like, I'm not saying things about you. I think she was joking, to be honest. We have some fun. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. So she's doing a lot of gardening. And she found a thing. I don't know how there's a little thing that was in the garden. Maybe I'll show it to you another time, because if I go now, then I'll lose there's not really much internet here. It's like I tried to upload my Friday video and I started uploading it at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it didn't actually upload until 8 o'clock the following day. The internet's very slow. Oh my goodness, thank you, Tux the Penguin. Oh, I'm overjoyed. Thank you very much. That's very, very much appreciated. Although I can't go out anywhere and do anything, so I'm not sure what I'm going to spend it on. Who knows? But thank you. For when happier times come, I'm sure I can get myself something nice with that. Thank you very much. I got a birthday present. Hooray! I suppose I can pretend this is my birthday present. It's weird. It wasn't made for me, and it's not mine, and I have to give it back. But yeah, little things. Thank you so much, Tux the Penguin. So yeah, I'm going to try and see whether I've run out of things to watch basically on Netflix as well as on the TV and nothing's coming quick enough. And as I was saying, have I got news for you? They were basically doing it from their own house, and it just looked like a really bad YouTube video. I could, but then it won't grow back if I accidentally do it. Like, everybody's cutting their hair. I've noticed everybody's cutting their own hair, like shaving it all off. But it won't grow back with this poor little doggy if I do that. I'm like, shall I shave my hair off too? I'm like, nah. A new wig. Yes, it's a new wig. Exactly. There. It's so good, isn't it? It suits me so much. Or I could just use it as a face mask. There, I solved all my problems. Yeah. All my problems solved in one fell swoop. So basically all the TV that's on at the moment, like all the daytime TV and all the quiz shows and all the radio shows and all the everything shows, just people from their own houses. And so it's like we may as well not bother watching the TV, because that's just YouTube. That's just what YouTube's been like this whole time. Only it's slightly better. I mean, this high-tech thing, I mean, I worry because there's the streaming on my it's very very low tech, and sometimes I lose it goes awful and it freezes up and all stuff like that. But the thing is, these are professional TV shows and they're having the same problem. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm no better or worse than anyone else then, by the looks of it. So whatever. Oh my goodness me. I'm just like pretending it's real. I'm just clinging on to these. I'm gonna get a very hot hand there. So he's not going to be very moving now. Just Columbos. Do they do Columbos? Yeah, a lot of people like Columbo. Also, Diagnosis Murder is very popular. It used to be. Is that still on somewhere? Might be. Might still be on somewhere. There's never a time that there isn't Diagnosis Murder on somewhere in the world. I don't know, I've never been a big Columbo fan or any of the sort of those detective dramas. I'll watch them at a pinch. I mean, there's one on at the moment that's called Shakespeare and Hathaway, and the twist is that it's modern day, like they're in Stratford upon Avon, and Hathaway is the man detective and Shakespeare is the woman detective, and they do solving mysteries that are very vaguely based on Shakespeare, in that some of the characters have got certain like Orlando or Viola or something. They've got names that are based on Shakespeare's things, but it's a little bit. Anyway, I suppose it's entertaining if you like that sort of thing. But that's like the highlight. Whereas before that was like early morning, afternoon TV. That's like prime time now, because there's nothing else left anymore. All the TV shows are finished. Nothing left. Nothing left except Ancient Aliens. They're really true. I used to love that sort of thing. Well, I used to really, when I was a teenager, I found an old Eric von Daniken book, and I started reading that because I didn't have anything else to do. Poirot and students. Oh yeah, Poirot and Inspector Morse. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Chariots of the Gods. Eric von Daniken would say, oh look at this tomb, it's shaped a little bit like a spaceship, therefore aliens. Oh look at this pyramid, it's like a tiny little bit like it might be some sort of beacon for aliens. Look at that picture, it's aliens. Very much like, so yes, exactly. So I'm back to those times, really. I'm watching stupid things about aliens. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm stuck in a house going, oh, what am I going to do with my life? Nothing. There's nothing to do. Got nothing to do. And watching Red Dwarf. That was what would cheer me up. And what's happening this week? Friday, there's an episode of Red Dwarf. A feature-length episode. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Back to the olden days. It got me through some difficult times, did Red Dwarf. I just watch it and go, well, they're trapped in space and they're having Red Dwarf. So that's a good highlight. Yay, Boys from the Dwarf. Yeah, so that is going to be something to look forward to. And even if it's no good, I'm sure it will be good, but even if it's no good, I'm still going to enjoy it. Yay! Because there's nothing else on. Nothing. Oh, something else I watched on Hulu was Future Man, which I recommend. My favourite Red Dwarf series was probably the second series. I like the first one a lot. The second series, that's got a lot of good ones. Maybe the first three I liked. But when did Crichton come into it? Did he not come into series 3, or did he come in series 2? Anyway, the original Crichton was not the same. He wasn't Robert Llewellyn, was he? So he came and he went. So my favourite episode, I don't know, I like some of the later ones. I do. And even which floating head did you like? I like them both. I do like them both. I like them both. I mean, Hattie Herridge gave a different sort of a twist to Holly, really. But, they were both good, weren't they? Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's right. He was in series 2 for 1 episode. Androids. Yeah. I'm saying yeah a lot because I'm like, I've gone blank. This is the Queen. You'd never get this from the Queen, would you? She's not going to go blank. She's completely scripted. There you go. There you go, Queenie. Say these things. This is what you're saying. My husband and I, Skeksis. Yeah, that's what she would do. Did I see the US version? I did. There's 2 pilot versions of the US version, and I've sought them both out. They were both interesting because they had 2 different versions of the cat. One of them was the woman who was in Deep Space Nine, and one of them was not. He was a middle-aged black guy. So the cat was different, yes, and they were different. And also, the guy that played Lister in the first one was a sort of big, beefy, white guy, which I think took something away from Lister. Not really Lister that I had in my head. It's like, yeah. It's like, have you seen the US version of the IT Crowd? It's like, no, Moss is still in it, but apart from that, it's just like, and don't get me wrong, the guy that played the other person in it, I liked him in Community, but yeah, exactly. If it's not Danny John Jules, it's not the cat. Danny John Jules is the best. And he's also in Labyrinth. Dance, baby, dance. And he's also in Maid Marian Maid Marian and her Merry Men. He's in that as well. So Pancake Day. It's Pancake Day. It's Pancake Day. Yeah, he's in that. So Danny John Jules, obviously very, very good. And he's a dancer. Yes, he was. He was suburban Maid Marian. They should repeat that. I'd watch that. The difference between US and UK humour is probably that US people have got American accents and UK people have generally got UK accents. Oh yes, I like tongue-tied. Talking about tongue-tied, tongue-tied. I don't think there is a massive difference in UK and US humour because there are many people. There's like 60 odd million people in Britain, and there's 300 million in America, and so there's going to be a lot of different senses of humour. Many different. I don't know. I don't think that sarcasm is the difference because Larry David and Seinfeld, there's quite a lot of sarcasm in American humour. I think that sort of thing goes down very well in Britain. Definitely Curb Your Enthusiasm is very popular, and Seinfeld was pretty popular even though they put it on BBC Two quite late at night, so not that many people saw it, and they keep like moving it around for snooker or whatever. But I don't think the senses of humour are massively different because I mean UK stuff gets made into American stuff sometimes, and the US doesn't do self-deprecation as much. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking again about Larry David and stuff like that. Scrambled eggs was quite intelligent. What's scrambled eggs? Don't know what scrambled eggs was. I'm missing the reference. Really, I'm missing the reference. There is there's a vast difference in different types of humour. It's like Mrs. Brown's Boys is very popular in Britain. Not everybody likes it. I'll just leave that there. Really, not everyone likes it. Benny Hill, very, very, very popular in America, I believe. It's popular in Britain, but you know, it's of its time. I don't know. Rodney Dangerfield, is he really that big over here? I don't know. Oh, self-deprecating you're talking about, yeah. I don't know. Self-deprecating, yeah. I suppose you have to really be on board with that, because sometimes people think that you really do think you're rubbish. And actually, self-deprecating humour is a sign that you're quite arrogant. You think quite a lot of yourself. Really, self-deprecating doesn't work if you actually think that you're rubbish. If you actually think you're rubbish, that's just pathos, and that's just like, oh, that's like Charlie Chaplin or something. and he was British, but it's more American humour, really. The pathos of Charlie Chaplin is he's a little guy, and he's like, you know, he's he thinks that he's just like, anyway. I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but basically, if you really think you're rubbish, then self-deprecating humour doesn't work. So if you ever hear anyone putting themselves down in trying to be humorous, then you have to understand that they think that they're they think they're much better than you. They think they're so amazing and brilliant, and that's where the humour lies, because it's like, ha ha! What an arrogant piece of self-deprecating. Yeah, no, think that. Yeah, but and also it's sort of you would think, oh, that's not as arrogant and not as aggressive sort of humour to put yourself down, and in a way that's right, because if you're putting yourself down, you're not putting the other person down, but as well, if you're putting yourself down, you are actually turning on everybody, so everybody in the world is not as good as you, really, in a way. But then again, humour doesn't really bear up to analysis, does it? Really, it doesn't. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it there and have a little lie down and sleep. I don't know how long for. And then when I wake up, it's not really late at night. When I wake up, it'll be my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy birthday to me. Yay! Have I done an online IQ test? I have. I've done lots and lots of them. And the best I did was when I really, really needed to go to the toilet. But the lowest I ever got on one was 117 and the highest was 160. But I really seriously doubt any of them make any sense, because online IQ tests are a load of old rubbish. And if you actually believe that any of them are true, then you've got a very low IQ. No, they make no sense. Definitely. Rutland Weekend Television. Yeah, that's pretty good too. Neil Innes and Eric Idle. Maybe I'll look out for that. That's where the rattles came from. Rattles are good. Anyway, I'm going now. I'll see you soon and enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.